Hello, I'm Charles Gross.
And I'm Leslie Hoban Blake. And it's our pleasure today to have with us one of our favorite guest critics, Diane Snyder, for a return visit. Today, Diane is going to talk about Clyde by Lynn Nottage, one of my favorite playwrights. Diane writes for The Telegraph of London, Time Out of New York, and New York Theater News. Welcome, Diane.
Thanks, Leslie.
Diane,
thanks, Charles.
Welcome to the Critics Circle. Happy to have you back.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be back.
Lynn Nottage is going to be a very busy playwright. She has Clyde's, she has an operatic version of Intimate Apparel, and she is writing the book for the new Michael Jackson musical. But today we are talking about Clyde's, and if you take a look at this cover, we may have to be very, very careful about what we say.
Clyde will come after us if we say the wrong thing. Yeah.
This takes place in a diner. Clyde is the owner. And the unique thing about this diner is it is staffed entirely with former convicts, including Clyde. And most of the action takes place in the kitchen with the convicts talking occasionally about being in jail, but more often talking about, well, what would be the perfect sandwich?
Indeed. It made me very hungry for a sandwich. I think after I saw the show, I came home and made myself a chicken salad sandwich and thought of their talk.
They would probably say, "Oh, really? Chicken salad? That's the best you could do?"
It was not very original, not compared to some of the great creations that they were coming up with. So the sandwiches that they're coming up with are these great creations. They're trying to fashion the perfect sandwich, trying to make the food better than just, okay, here's an ordinary sandwich that we're dishing out at the truck stop in Berks County, Pennsylvania. But what becomes, it becomes also symbolic of them trying to improve their lives and trying to come back and rebound from their incarceration. And that's where the play becomes interesting and also problematic, I think.
Well, I agree with you on that. I think part of it is it's a wonderful ensemble piece, but we really don't get to know the individuals as well as we'd like to. Also, there isn't a comprehensive overall plot, or if there is, it's basically them versus Clyde. Now, in all the releases that I read about this, in all the previews that I read about this, Clyde is this person who is taking them on when no one else would because they are ex-convicts. That is true, except that Clyde is anything but benevolent. She's mean. She takes advantage of them. She never hesitates to remind them that you've got nowhere else to go, so you better toe the line. She's not exactly a touchy-feely person.
Yeah, and she's still something of a criminal herself. Some of the food that she's getting, the seafood, it's kind of questionable where she's getting it from. So it's not like she's actually gone on the straight and narrow. And
not to mention the fact that, you know, they have to create something that people will eat. So it kind of in a way it helps them with their creations because they now have boundaries that they have to overcome.
Very much so. And with Clyde, you know, they made such a big deal of casting Uzo Aduba, an Emmy-winning actress from Orange is the New Black, in the role. And she is a dynamic presence. She gets to wear some fabulous costumes. She's more costume changes than an Oscar host, although these are a bit bolder and a bit less glamorous. But we never really get inside this character. She's almost the least interesting of the five characters in the show. She never has, we never find out why she went to prison. We never, as we do with the others. And
on the other hand, she's a lot of fun.
She is a lot of fun.
You know, the way Uzo portrays her, never a dull moment when she is on stage.
No, but when you call the show Clyde's, you somehow think that she's going to have more revelations, be perhaps a more in-depth character than she becomes.
Well, I think that may be the problem with the entire play. I mean, these are definitely individual and nicely drawn characters, but we really don't get much depth out of them. I kept thinking, you know what, this would make a wonderful sitcom because it is kind of written and fashioned like a sitcom. And I could definitely see getting to know these characters over, numerous episodes in a multi-year run.
Yeah, that's interesting. The Tracy Letts play Superior Donuts did become a sitcom for CBS, so you might be onto something there because I can see similarities here. Yeah, I thought that it this also takes place in Berks County, Pennsylvania, which is where Reading, Pennsylvania is, which is where her Pulitzer Prize winning play Sweat took place. And I'm from a part of Pennsylvania, the Lehigh Valley, that's not really that far removed from this place. So I was excited to see her revisiting this locale and dealing with the struggles of these people, which probably are similar or come from some of the economic problems that the characters in Sweat are facing. But it felt like she had a theme that she wanted to get across, and that the characters were created based on this theme, based on this message, rather than being full-bodied, three-dimensional people in their own right.
The play was directed by Kate Wariski, and she does a nice job staging it. All in all, I did have an enjoyable evening, but especially given that this was a Lynn Nottage play, I was really looking for a lot more drama and a lot more depth. And in our 1 to 5 playbill countdown, 5 being amazing, 1 being not so much, I would give this 3.5.
Yeah, I would probably go 3.5 in that range as well. But I would also like to mention, maybe this is not the place to do it, Ron Cephas Jones and Edmund Donovan as two of the supporting cast members who have great stage presence and really were my favorites among the ensemble.
I'm missing so much by not being able to see all of these wonderful things. And Lynn Nottage, as I said, is one of my favorite playwrights. So I had very high expectations from what you're saying you did as well. Ron Cephas Jones is one of my favorite actors. He was in the original Jesus Hopped the A Train down at the Labyrinth. He's a phenomenal actor, as well as being the father of Jasmine Cephas Jones. It sounds like it was 8 characters in search of a play is basically what you sounded like you were saying, Diane, thank you so much for coming back. We so appreciate it. And I know we're going to see you again because it's only December. I can't go back until February. So please keep on with the good work, and we'll see you then.
Sounds good, Leslie. Thanks again for having me, Leslie and Charles. And see you back at the theater and back on Zoom sometime soon.
And if you are watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to this station.
Yes, subscribe. We need you.
Oh, yes.